Senator David Shoebridge is the Greens spokesperson for justice, which I find staggering. I've been dealing with Shoebridge since 2020, and I've found him to be all talk and no substance. We recently asked his office if they could point out any action that Shoebridge has initiated that's resulted in someone being held to account for systemic corruption. But in response, all we got was an abusive, late-night phone call from his assistant, Kim Chappell. I first spoke with Shoebridge when I was starting Justice Matters, and we wanted to take out a private criminal prosecution against former New South Wales Police Minister David Elliott for impersonating a police officer. Shoebridge was all for it, and he said he'd do whatever he could to help, including organising a press conference on the steps of the Downing Centre. But none of that eventuated, which made me suspicious, and even more so when Shoebridge tried to convince us not to take action against Chris Minns because he was in the Labor Party. Fast forward to March this year, and we contacted Shoebridge's office about NACC Commissioner Paul Brereton, who should have been criminally prosecuted after being found guilty of misconduct during the NACC's Robodebt investigation. We did all the work. We compiled a Senate petition with over 1,100 signatures, and over 100 concerned members of the public submitted criminal complaints to the AFP Commissioner Rhys Kershaw and the Attorney General Mark Dreyfus. These were things Shoebridge could and should have done himself, right? But we did it, and all he had to do was ask the questions. But his office refused. That's when we asked whether Shoebridge had initiated any action that resulted in someone being held to account for systemic corruption, and we got the late-night abusive phone call from his assistant, Kim Chappell. Let's be clear. David Shoebridge is a barrister and a senator with the backing of a political party. If he was to take out a private criminal prosecution against Paul Brereton, it would be taken seriously. We told him how it could be done. We wrapped it up in a bow for him, but he wasn't even prepared to ask Brereton questions. In my mind, Shoebridge is just another dodgy politician in a dodgy political system.